Hi, I'm Vicky Veloso Barrera, and today I'm going to show you how to put together an individual serving of beef Wellington. We need 100 grams of puff pastry. This pack has 500 grams. I sell this also at my school. And you will need 100 grams of beef tenderloin that you've already pan-seared ahead of time. Now when you pan-sear, just make sure you brown the top and the bottom, and it should still be red in the middle. Okay, so we're gonna roll out our puff pastry. Just put a little flour on the board. Now the size to which you're going to roll it depends on how big the piece of beef is. So, for instance, if I'm using this piece, because when you cut beef tenderloin, they're not all exactly the same size. So we're going to use the piece of beef to show us exactly how big this should be. So approximately for this piece, maybe 6 inches by 6 inches. So we've got that here. Now I've got pate that we did in class, my cooking classes at Zamora last week. And if you didn't attend my class, I have a cookbook called From Vicky's Kitchen Edible Gifts, available at some branches of National Bookstore. The recipe is there. So that's liver pate. We're going to spread a layer on top and below and put it here on top of our beef. Then I have some chopped cooked mushrooms, what they call a duxelle. If you want your duxelle to be finer, you just process it in a food processor. So you put some of this on top. And then with a knife, cut off your excess puff pastry in the corners so that you don't have, a very bready sort of puff pastry. I love puff pastry, but there's too much of this in the sides. However, we're not gonna throw that away. We're going to use the scraps. So just fold over the flaps of the puff pastry, seal the ends, pinch them together as best you can. Now this was part of my Valentine's menu, which I taught in Zamora. So the main course is this beef Wellington. Because it's a Valentine's menu, you might want to maybe cut some hearts out of the puff pastry, set it on top, and then you just need to brush the package with beaten egg, and there you have it. All you need to do now is bake this in the oven for about 30 minutes at 450 degrees, and you have your individual beef Wellington. Now, before I forget, I need to thank Clivia Nobili, my French designer friend, for this lovely apron. So, she gave this to me as a gift, and I use it during my classes. Thank you, Clivia, because it allows me to cook and still look very chic at the same time.